Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
It's been like 6 years and 4 months, I think.
Yeah. Well, I've only been in comics for 2, so it's probably not. But feels like it. Feels like it. Like
Yeah.
in 2 years, I've 21 issues have been made, so feels like a lifetime.
I was gonna say, you've put out a couple of books in your day.
Yes, because I'm
Yeah.
stupid.
No,
Yeah,
I prefer dedicated.
dedicated. We like yeah, I said someone said the other day, you're passionate. I was like, passionate, stupid is a fine line.
I always say I'm committed or I should be.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I might need that shirt. Patent
There you
pending.
go.
But yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on again.
That's no problem. It's what we do. Um, so this book I was looking at is similar, but yet different from because your other series, because you have another one called Redemption, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I have all those, by the way. Yeah,
yeah. So
like I
what
don't
it
know what
is
they are. I know.
so what it is, the two characters are soulmates and they reincarnate into different, each life. And each life they always find each other, different ages, different times, different situations. They never have any memories, but they always feel drawn to each other. So this is the life before redemption. And the reason why it's so much different is what happens at the end of it is why redemption is so completely messed up. Not my
Gotcha.
story, well, a little bit, but their lives. It's something happens that's never happened in their life before at the end of this, and that is why redemption is not only different but so much more um chaotic and all that fun stuff. So but yeah, so it's all the same characters. A lot of things are answered, a lot of things, whatever. So but
That's one of the questions I had was uh, because it seems to be the same characters. How is it different or related?
yeah. So it's like I said, it's the same characters. It's the life before. Um, we always had the last issue in our heads because what happens, like I said, in this lifetime is what affects redemption.
Sure.
Um, but we never went beyond that. That was kind of it. And then I don't know, 4 months ago, I was like, I really want to see them in cowboy outfits. Just, I was just for fun. I was like, let's expand on it. There's two things I really missed is I really wanted them to have some kind of supernatural adventure because redemption is more of a horror action
Hmm.
adventure. And of course she's a supernatural hunter. So I always wanted to do like a regular hunt. I was like, let's do a side story where they just do a regular hunt, like, like they would do. And then she said, my co-writer Jess said that she had wanted to do a past side story, and it's like we already have that. We have Damnation, so it
Hmm.
was dropped. And then like a week later, I was like, I want to see them in cowboy outfits. It's like that's what I meant by the past. I was like, you didn't clarify. So we started writing it, and now we have like 20 issues written. So here we are.
I
See,
was gonna say you have quite a few of
we're
redemption done that you said you
no.
had planned, and I was gonna ask how many you had planned for this one.
Oh no, 20's written. We don't have a plan yet.
Oh,
But so redemption, the storyline of redemption is kind of split. So redemption is 23 issues and then it has a soft ending. It's not a very
mhm,
satisfying ending for me. I like it, but it wasn't never meant to be an ending. Um
mhm,
but the reason why I cut it there was because the next series, Conviction, is a completely different scenario. It's the next day, next minute, whatever. But if
hmm.
they get moved to a totally different situation, and then there's 25 issues there. And then that one ends, and then Resurrection has 30 issues already written, and then that one has so those the ending of Conviction is good. I'd be perfectly happy ending it there. I really like it. It wraps things up. The end of Resurrection is, I think, a lot more final. Like there's more things to it. You finally get something that they've been looking for, and blah blah. So those, if I had my way, it'd be 80 issues. We have
Mhm.
another. How many issues would be? because the fourth series is almost done. One like the last book of it. So there's another certain I don't know, another 25 issues there. But then the way that one ends, you have to do a series 5 because it's the war between my characters with the Egyptian gods and the Greek gods against heaven and hell and Celtic. So you can't really end it there. So if I was to choose an ending, it would be the end of Conviction or the end of Resurrection. So, but this one, we have the ending. We have the first 20 issues, but we're very obsessed with it. So I don't know when it's going to end because we have lots of ideas in mind and we're really, really enjoying the West. So the difference, like I said before, is Redemption is incredibly chaotic and on a nonstop line.
Mm-hmm.
They're always fighting something. They never have a chance to breathe. They're just running for their lives, pretty much. Survival horror, as you might say.
Right.
This is more of a quest. There is a little bit of a time crunch for the first half of the series. She has to find. So in this world, she is a supernatural hunter. She gets trained by the son of Samuel Colt, who invented the guy. Because he was into paranormal and he was into all that stuff. And of course, in Supernatural, the TV show, he's a huge part of it. So it's his son that does it. So which fit. It was a time era. We couldn't have Samuel Colt because it has to be the 1880s. So it didn't work. But the son is there, and they have to go through and find all these cryptids. The only problem is to get the ingredients that they need for this elixir. They can't kill the cryptid ahead of time. So like,
really?
Yeah, because it's for an immortality thing, so that it needs the powers of the cryptid. So like, they need a part of the antler of a Wendigo without killing the Wendigo. So like, good luck there. And so it makes it a lot harder. Plus, in all honesty, some might get killed or whatever, but I didn't really want to kill everyone's favorite cryptid. So that would be kind of messed up. But like, here, let's kill Bigfoot. So no. So I think so far, like, I don't even know if they officially killed. I think they killed like one or something. Most of the cryptids are either not nice or just want to be left alone. There are some that do help them or on their side. You could probably guess Bigfoot is helpful. Scarecrow a little bit is somewhat helpful. Might not
I don't
know
imagine skinwalkers would be.
No. The Dogman is on their side only because I don't know if you know about Dogmen. So Dogmen are very territorial. They don't generally mind. They don't go after people generally, but they don't like unnatural things. So I always thought, which is the big fight I had between me and my co-writer, she loves werewolves that are human to werewolf, and I hate it. I think it's a curse. I don't think it's a real cryptid. We always fight about it. So we have the Dogmen versus the werewolves. Okay. So werewolves are not good in our scenario, and they also need the fang of a werewolf. So the Dogman signs up with them. The other character that became a main character by complete like not on purpose. It was not on purpose. Do you know what a squonk is? Okay. So he looks too cute in our thing, but this is technically a squonk. It is a creature that its only, I don't want to say trait or ability is he thinks he's so ugly that he sits in the forest and wails and cries. And if he gets too upset, he like collapses into a puddle. So that is a squonk. Generally, they look like, to me anyway, a Shar-Pei, a really messed up Shar-Pei pig dog kind of thing. So Serafina, being an angel that she is, tries to comfort it and stops it. The ingredient they needed was its tears, but because she comforted it, so it stopped crying. Draven hates it and wants to shoot it all the time. He's like, it looks like it smells. It just cries all the time. I hate it. But it follows her around because she was nice to it. So another thing that's different about this story compared to Redemption, and again, you don't need to obviously read Redemption because that happens later on, technically. So their powers come out in pretty much the second issue. So you get to see her angelic side and his demon side slightly, and it starts to grow the further into the story they go. And the reason that is in the story in Redemption, they're separated for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the separation and because they thought each other was dead, it kind of stonewalled their powers and kind of, separated them. So it doesn't come out until like way later. Like I think it comes out in Conviction, the end of Conviction or something. But in this one, they're never separated. They're together and all that stuff. There's something else that's different that I didn't even know myself, because me, my characters tell the story. I have no control over what's going on. I think around issue 10, and anyone that knows Redemption knows that my characters curse nonstop. Every panel, every word, they just curse all the time. She doesn't really curse. She barely curses in this, and I thought it was so weird. I didn't have a reason for it. My only conclusion is, again, she's not that cold-hearted person anymore. She didn't lose the love of her life like in Redemption. They don't have that 10 years of stone cold. So that's my only theory. I don't know why she curses less, because I curse a hell of a lot. So they are the same characters, but they're obviously a little bit, different. But we have different artists too. Matt is absolutely amazing. I love the details he does. I love the background work he does. You can, if you scroll down to a couple of the pages, we can talk about the journals too. We get the journals. Of course, Derek Chu's cover. That's their first meeting. But it's nice to have like background. I love the backgrounds. I love the details. I love how you can tell it's them, but there's subtle, obviously, differences. And of course, I love the cowboy outfits. We have demons, we have angels, which I love. I love that we have more of the angel demons in this. I don't think their fathers show up in like, I think it's issue 4. 3 or 4. Actually, maybe it's 3. I don't know. There's Bigfoot.
There's our Bigfoot. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the first couple issues, you mostly see them in the backgrounds. But it's kind of a hint of what they're going to run into or what ingredients they're going to need later and all that stuff, which is kind of fun. And that's Apollo, which nobody knows because he's in Damnation. And if anyone that reads Damnation, which you can get the PDF as an add-on, he's in the shadows. You can't see him yet, but he's in there. His name is Apollo, and he's a rat, and he's adorable. I love Apollo. So, yeah. So, yeah, my little Wendigo. So with this one is a little bit more interactive. So what we have is the journals that you don't have to get.
Okay.
Now the journals are, so you get this little journal and there's blank pages that you can use for stickers, use for your own, all that stuff. And then if you click on the page, because I just realized the moment the pages are upstairs, it'll show you that every issue there's going to be the cryptids in the background or whatever. There's going to be a picture, which you can color if you're into that. And that's the way that's the stickers you can collect if you want.
Yeah.
But there's little notes on them. Now, the more she interacts with them, the more notes there'll be. So they will probably be more pages per cryptid. And you'll get those. So every issue, whoever buys the journal at any time will get those pages for free. And as long as you back the Kickstarter with the cryptids in it, then you get that page for free. If not, you could buy them later on to catch up in the add-ons or whatever.
Right.
But so whatever cryptid is in the background or she interacts with, there's going to be a page with. So, and then you can collect the stickers if you want to put the stickers in there. So I had to buy a little smaller Bigfoot so it fits. Go ahead. Sorry.
So in the first one, the standout character was the Anubis, correct?
Yes, Anubis.
Who do you feel is going to be your standout in this one?
The Wendigo, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he stalks her a lot, and they don't even interact with him. We haven't even written them interacting yet. They interact with a different Wendigo. This is an alpha Wendigo. He has moose ears, which is different. He's got the moose ears. Usually Wendigos. So I'm gonna be complete disclosure. In mythology, the Wendigos do not have antlers. They're actually cannibals that got possessed by spirit. However, the fictional version has the antlers, and there's a couple of reasons why we did that. One, I don't like humanoid cryptids. I'm an animal lover. I don't like humans. But also to not offend Native Americans, because some people were worried that this is their culture and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't want to do anything offensive. And plus, they look so cool with antlers. Look at them. So we did use the antler Wendigos. Yeah. So, but some describe them with antlers, some don't. But generally, the original lore does not have antlers.
Yeah. The one I always heard was you have to be a cannibal in Canada, and then
you're a cannibal usually out of necessity, like getting starving in winter or whatever, and then you are possessed by an evil spirit. Which, let me tell you, I love cryptid believers. Obviously, I do believe in cryptids, and some more than others, but they are very, very, very specific. Like they are I got yelled at. Like they're like, the Wendigo doesn't have antlers. I was like, I know, it is a fictional story. I did not go and I researched all of them before I used them, but I went with the antler version. And there are two versions, like you said. There's Canada, and then there's another version, and one can be told to have antlers, one cannot. I do use all of their powers. The only one that I kind of changed how they look, and it's kind of like a mutated version, is the Wampus cat, because for some reason the name, all it is a cougar with extra 2 legs.
Right.
But because it had the name Wampus in it, it just to me sounds like it needs to smash something. So it has these quills in the tails that it smashes towards you, and the quill is what you have to collect. And I had the quills in it before we started the jars, but that just made it easier in my life to have these quills, because we in the jars, which by the way I haven't really talked about yet. So the journal is in one. Yeah. The journal is, you can collect in one, and it'll be in add-ons and other. Issue 2, there's a map that you can keep track of where the cryptids are found by marking on the map. And then starting in issue 3, we're going to start the jars. Now, this is going to fall. Oh, okay. So we have these boxes that have sections in them, and it's going to fit the journal, the map, and then every jar. So there's going to be 20 jars that you can collect from the 20 cryptids that she needs to find. So there's way more than 30 cryptids in this. Some of them she interacts with, and some of them she needs the ingredients for, because since you can't kill the animal to get it, there's only certain many things you can collect from a cryptid. So we have this list, and you can collect them. So for example, the Wendigo horn antler, it's going to be the jar of ground up antler. And then there's going to be Bigfoot fur. You need the fur. You need the squonk tears, and all that stuff. And then you can collect them as you go, and then you can store them in the box, which is what she does in the story. She collects them in the jar. She puts them in a little box that she keeps on her horse's messenger bag. So, but yeah, so that's a little bit interactive for people that want to. Obviously, it's not required. There's, you're not required to go and get these things. So it's just so people can interact with it and all that fun stuff.
So how many series do you have going currently at the same time?
So the only ones that are actively being drawn are Redemption and Devastation. Damnation will eventually be done, but it was a different artist that didn't get finished. And really the only reason why I sell that one is because it's how they met in the next life. So if you want to see how they met, you could buy Damnation. She also looks incredibly hot in it. It was not intentional. It was a Brazilian artist that knows how to draw hips, and that's just how it went. But that's how they met. Yes, she has fishnet stockings, which, let me just tell you, when you're writing something, you don't think too much about it, because when we wrote the series, we did not plan on a comic book. So these thoughts were not in my head. In the story, she had to sneak into a Halloween party, so she didn't have a costume. So she put on fishnet stockings and an outfit to look like the Huntress. So that was her favorite character. She wanted to look like it. That's why she's wearing fishnet stockings. When it turned into a comic book, I was like, that is not how I meant it to look. But here we are. And it has 15,000 views on Global Comics. So if you want to go see her in fishnet stockings, that's where she is.
That is definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah. Well, it ranked us on Globex Comics, just released 2 weeks ago, the 10 most popular creators of 2024, and we are number 3.
I
So, and
saw
you
that.
can thank her fishnet stockings. And yeah, she looks incredibly hot in it, I'm not gonna lie. And she goes through the entire 2 issues in it. And as a half joke to ourselves, she's gonna wear the outfit in a later series because she just looks so cool in it.
Nice.
But yeah. So again, wasn't intentional. And when it was drawn out, I was like, huh, all right then. But whatever. She looks hot. What can I say? Now as the covers go, we have 3 covers.
Okay.
I love all 3. The first one, I'm gonna be completely honest with, is not my type of cover. It was a gift from my colorist Fernando and my artist Matt. I prefer chaotic. Well, if you go all the way up, you can see better pictures at the very beginning. You can see the covers.
Okay.
They're right before the pages.
There we go.
Yeah. So yeah. So they look great, but to me, I like chaotic crap. That's how I am. They said less is more. That's fine, but that is not my choice of cover. It looks gorgeous, by the way. I think the colors are amazing. They look awesome. That does not happen in this issue because they do not hold hands. They do later on, I'm sure. But on the cover, we just prefer chaotic stuff. But again, it's a gorgeous cover, and I appreciate every inch of it. This is Victor Mendez cover. It's amazing. Left me no room for a title.
I was gonna say,
here we are. I don't know. I love him as an artist. He's amazing details. I just don't know why I don't get where am I supposed to put a title? I'm not covering that up.
This could be the naked edition.
I don't have any other edition. I can't fit a title. Well, here's the thing. Lori, as you know, is amazing, phenomenal. I love her to death. She will never, ever, ever, ever change the title. So she doesn't let me devoid. If it doesn't fit the way it fits, then you don't get a title. So there's the title. And I respect her for it. She's way more picky on it than I am. And since she's phenomenal at matching the colors, like she changes the colors of every title to whatever's happening in that. Like if you go up to the original one, the other way, see how the title, the letters match the colors of what's going on. That's her. Like that's all her. She matches the colors of every single issue she puts the title on. So I'm not going to argue with her. And then of course the third cover, which is why we have the amount that we have, is Derek Chu, I think she looks, I know no one looks above her neck, but her face is gorgeous. I love the way she looks. Now, as for the outfit, that was not what I had requested. And his exact words were, I tweaked it a little bit. I hope you don't mind. And I was like, sure. Like it was already done by then. And I'm not going to argue with Derek Chu. So it looks phenomenal. I already told him to put me on the list for the next one, which is probably like, he'll start in April or something. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. It's phenomenal. It's selling very well. Our numbered editions of 5 sold out of one color. The 10s are almost sold out. There's 2 or 3 left of the 5x5s in the add-ons. So if someone wants a very rare cover, go get it there. Glow in the darks. So there's been a lot. People do really like it. And I went ballistic. My friend Ray yelled at me that I have so many limited editions medals. They're all metal. There's like 6 different metals. There's regular metal. There's like different colors of glow in the darks. There's a black light one. But there's 27 tiers, but that is actually less than I normally have. So I don't want to hear anybody that I have too many. Usually I have 40 and I only have 27 because it's a new series. So yeah, my bad.
Being a gun guy, I liked this. This looks like it would be a real pistol pointed at you. That's how it would actually look. That's what I was drawn to. Plus, the hat actually looks like a hat, because you've seen some where the hat just looks like it's color formed on. This looks like it's actually being worn. But I like this one. This is my cover. This is the one I like. Did I lose you? Did you freeze? I think she froze. Or I did. One of us did.
One of us did. I don't know. If it happens again, I'm going to run upstairs and get onto the other computer. So I don't know which one of us it is. But of course, it never happens unless I'm live. So why else would it happen? Sorry. If it happens again, I'm going to disappear for 2 minutes and run upstairs. It's just I have 5 pets, so it's much better down here. If I can.
So you have a plushie. I was looking through the tiers. So you actually have a plushie of the little guy here?
Oh, of Apollo? Oh yeah. I have 2 different sizes, but I'm selling the little one for this one. So this is Apollo. Got a little. He's absolutely adorable. I love him. He was a last minute addition where I was like, I already have a bigger Apollo, but I kind of want just a little one so people can get a plushie, not spend a ton of money. So there he is. He's got his little. So and then we have the Wendigo.
Okay.
He's got his antlers, got embroideries on his arm. You can see leg. And then of course
the merch maven for nothing.
Huh?
They don't call you the merch maven for nothing, right?
I am queen merch.
Yes.
Merch queen. There you go. So Bigfoot is about the size of Alf. Yes, I'm old, so if you know who Alf is, that is Bigfoot there. So, and I am so happy because I sold 1 so far, and I think there's only 3. And it's from a client, so I don't have to ship him. So I am thrilled. I'm just gonna drive him on over. Yeah, that works for me. We also have the 3D. Here's the 3D Wendigo. The Bigfoot showed up actually when I was running here. It showed up at the door. So I do have the Bigfoot ones are in stock. They're upstairs. There is a brown one, which is Bigfoot, and a white one, which is technically the Yeti, but for people that want to color it, they could buy a white one. So,
yeah.
And then they have the pins. So we have metal pins. I mean, I can mention it here as an exclusive if you want to know it. But I am starting a cryptid of the month subscription for people that want so every month there's different tiers you can get. And every month I will ship you a new cryptid, and it's gonna have all the merch in it. And then during the newsletter there'll be like specials you can get, and if you want to add it to your next month's thing and all that stuff. So I just figured this out yesterday, and of course I never think too hard or anything. So I have 4 people that are signing up for it. The lowest tier is the paper, where you get the journal, and then every month you get the new pages, new sticker, a new page, a new sticker, bookmark, and a print or postcard. And then the next tier up is a metal tier, which would be the metal pins, metal bookmark, metal trading card, and a magnet. And then the next tier up is the cryptid 3D printed for that one. And then a couple of things they can get if they want to add on are bigger plushies, jars, shirts, whatever. And then, or you can add all 3 together and do that stuff. So working on the details, but so far it seems like something that people like. And, obviously I love my cryptids. So,
right.
Yeah.
So how do I want to ask this one? So this is Devastation. This one, are you going to alternate the titles, or are you going to print, or are you going to do straight until Devastation's done and then go back, or how is this going to work?
You talk about Kickstarters?
Yes.
Okay. Every other month. So this one is now Redemption issue 13 is February 17th. And then I think at the end of March would be issue 2 for this one. And then back and forth. So I think I have 8 Kickstarters this year. So, whoops. Well, here's how it goes. So I have 5 ahead redemptions. I have issued 13, 17 done, whatever. I could have been smart, and I could have just did 5 Kickstarters, get out of debt, like normal person, and then start fresh with no debt 2026. But let's start a new series. So here we are. Here we are with and I've always been, queen merch or whatever. I've always been merch queen, but this is a next level above, because every issue, and there's that merch, and every issue has 2 to 3 new cryptids. So there's 2 to 3 new plushies per one, which means there's 3D printing and all that stuff. So yeah, this was brilliant on my part. So she uses those. The reason why those are for sale is she uses them in issue 1 to hold holy water, and she smashes them over demons' heads.
Nice.
I should probably put that page up, so I'll share the page out so people can see it.
All right.
Oh, but anyway.
I always figure if we're not stressed out and we're not freaking out, then we don't get the best out of us.
Right?
So
that's what I said. I told Lori and the other people, I was like, I don't know how you guys do a Kickstarter like once every 4 or 5 months. I can't stand not having the stress. I don't know what to tell you.
It's good for you. It builds character.
Oh my goodness. Well, I am like a super lazy person. I've always been super lazy. So the fact that I work so hard in this is an astonishment to everybody. But yeah, I hate stress and I hate having extra work for myself. But then this comes along and I created, a ton of everything. So yeah, here we are. But I love having, I had somebody say, why would you do 5 issues ahead if you don't know they're going to sell? And I was like, I made them for me.
Yeah.
I hope they sell, but no matter what, redemption is going to get done. So the soft ending is going to happen. No matter what. But I hope to do the first 80. And then, by then I'm like, what, retired? I don't know. Am I still around?
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah. Retired? Yeah, probably not. Yeah. No. No.
I know
but once
personally
my house is paid off, I mean, bring on the big covers, man. I don't know.
Right?
Oh, you want to see the video?
Sure, we can do that.
This one's only a minute, so it's because it's the first issue, not like the 20-minute ones I normally have.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
All right. There we are.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's going to be neat to see where you take these guys, because what's nice about something like the Wild West or even other time periods is you can just there's so much that's open as compared to modern that it's almost it's hard to predict.
The trickiest part of the whole thing, and it only happened like twice, is they can't call each other when separated. So that was interesting. But other than that, it's fun to see them, so people have asked me, like, do I do research? I do. There's only one thing that I did not completely do Western, and it's their way of speaking. I'm not hurting my brain that way. You read what you want to read. It's a story about cryptids and angels and demons. You're going to have to get past that. But other than that, like, I try to not use words that weren't invented. Like, I had to look up their phrase that he always calls her in Redemption is "you're a pain in the ass." And I had to make sure that term was around, and it was. And the other one was she likes to pinky swear, and I had to make sure that was around, and that was. And so there's a lot of things that I look up to make sure that either the words are available. Like, for example, we have a Jersey Devil. There's no ingredient, but they do fight a Jersey Devil. However, he is named the Leeds the Leeds Devil because the name didn't come around to the 1900s. Now, the reason why originally I just said it's the 1880s because it's every 100 years. The reason why it's now 1887, if I'm asked, is because, and this is a controversy thing, but some say they only see the dog man on the 7th year. Some say it doesn't matter. Some say it's every 7th. So to cover my butt, it is now 1887 because they're going to hang out with the dog man. So, yeah.
Yeah, and they also they didn't have Mothman officially until mid 1900s.
Yeah, we always say like territorial wise, they're not in the states they're supposed to be in, but
exactly.
But they're in like the environment they would be in, like the burrow, which is the alligator is obviously in a swamp, and Squonk is in the the forest, and the Jersey Devil is in the cave or whatever. So we try to keep to that, but state wise it'd be a little tough. They're not going to pop into a motorcycle and drive over to Virginia. So but yeah, we try to keep it accurate, but just keep in mind it is a fictional story.
Yeah. And
That's
to
fun.
any FBI looking at our search history, it's for research purposes.
Oh my goodness.
I did need to know how to dissolve a body, but not for anything.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Most of the cryptids, like I have asked people, especially because I'm doing or gonna do probably the cryptid of the month, is how many cryptids I'm gonna have,
Right.
So the first 12 are done. So technically I have the first year already. And then you have your choice of adding mythology to it. So then you can get Anubis, and we have the Cerberus, the Minotaur, and Bastet, and all that stuff. But I asked people what kind of cryptids they want. We have a list of 30, and they just added more. Someone wanted the flatworm, which I looked up, and I was like, we're gonna make that cute somehow. We'll figure it out. Another person today told us the Kentucky Goblin, so I added him. And the only thing I don't really like is, like I said before, is the humanoid ones. So I don't have anything too humanoid. I think the closest humanoid cryptid we have is the Tommyknockers because they're fun.
Yes.
And they're supposedly they're miners that died being trapped. So they're ghost-like. So that's the way we went with them. Their ingredient in the jar is their white whiskers. So that was interesting, and we went with both. They mess with you by moving your stuff, and also by helping you by knocking when there's going to be a cave-in. So we like to stick to the lore. That's the fun part, is doing the research.
Yeah.
When I'm about to write that cryptid, I go and look it up again just to see if there's anything I'm missing or anything like that. There's this.
When I
Go ahead. No, you first.
I'll say when I used the Tommyknockers, I actually had them again with the knocking, of course, but then they more carried the lantern or the and the canary, and they would call in somebody's voice and bring you down to them.
Nice, yeah.
So mine were more than.
I like that. Ours was annoying to them at first, messing with them at first. And then they tried to help them with the knocking, and then at the very end, she does something to help them, so they help her back. Jersey Devil is not helpful in the least.
No, it's from Jersey. I mean, come on, how helpful could it be?
That is something we did with the cave to make it a little bit more unique and explain why all these things are there. We made the cave like this conduit that goes to different countries, different eras, and some things come through. Now, I think you're around my age. Did you ever see The Last Unicorn, the cartoon?
No.
Okay, so The Last Unicorn, if you ever want to see it, beautiful animation. But there is a fire ox in that, a bull that was always my favorite creature. I found out it is a real creature from mythology, so I added him and his goddess with it, and they interact. They stay in caves. They do exactly what they would normally do. So they actually are in it. So I was thrilled to add him in there. But I did have different lures and stuff like that. So yeah, I did a lot of research, and it's a lot of fun to do it. I love adding the cryptid. There is some people that added things are unbelievably, I don't know why. I guess they just like the Loveland Frogman. I was asked like by 5 people to add this. I added them, but I don't get the. No offense to anybody. It's just a frog that's super huge. I did just post a picture of the art that got done for him. I don't know why he was so popular. The other one that I'm really shocked was popular was the not deer. Like, it's just a messed up looking deer that was probably mutated at birth, and it was like, it's not deer. Though some are saying it's a shapeshifter. So we're gonna have a deer that looks like it doesn't know how to be a deer.
Like he was in a car accident. Yeah.
It was in a yeah, and it's really funny because my car writer said the other day, she's like, well, Draven's gonna say, what is that? That's not a deer. And she's goes, yeah, you're right, it's not a deer.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that was a weird thing to have added it. So, and the other thing I added that I cannot pronounce for the life of me, it's an Aztec creature. It starts with an A. It is an otter with a hand on its tail. So the hand pulls people into the river. And I literally just wrote that chapter like last month. But I can't say it for the life of me, but I got that added in there. So, but yeah, lots of fun stuff.
So I gotta know. Know. So you mentioned you don't like the humanoid style, correct?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Hat Man? And if you don't know what it is, that's fine. But only because, again, my search history would get me arrested.
I don't know the Hat Man.
The Hat Man is one of those shadow people. Says like one of them's an old hag that can sit on your chest while you're sleeping, but the Hat Man is like their ultimate form. And Bad Omen, Freddy Krueger was based on the Hat Man. So it's that kind of a style of cryptid evil.
Did I ever tell you the story of the Shadow Man that I saw? So when I was a teenager, I was cat sitting overnight. Thankfully, this was not my house. And I was laying on my bed, laying on their bed or whatever, like in the guest room. And I saw the shadow of a man on the wall in front of me go from the door. And I got to be honest, I don't remember being scared. I was just staring at it. And it was just kind of, I wouldn't say walking, but kind of gliding across, whatever. And then it zoomed under the bed. And like a freaking moron, I jumped up to go look under the bed and stop myself. And I was like, I probably don't want to look under there. And I went back and laid back down under the covers. And then I tried to convince myself that I must have fallen asleep and saw it. And it didn't really happen. And it wasn't until like years later, I was watching some haunted show. And the woman's like, I saw this shadow walk across and just go across the thing and then go under the bed. I was like, I saw it. So I was like, yeah. No, I remember it clearly. I was not scared until after, when I was like, why would I look under the bed? That was dumb. So I don't know what I would have saw. I'm glad I didn't look, but yeah, I did see one. So
reminds me of an old now my brain is going to freeze on what the name of it was. I don't think it was Twilight Zone or something similar, but it was a little kid who had a shadow friend that was, keeping him safe, right? And the shadow friend says one night, he goes, meet me out at the park and we'll hang out there. To paraphrase, of course. Well, the kid gets out there and he's swinging on it, and then all of a sudden the shadow comes up, and he goes, I'm the shadow from under somebody else's bed. And then, of course, and I always thought that one was pretty neat. And that's what got me into the shadow stuff. So
I did not know anything about them when I was a kid. So I'm probably grateful for that. I can't think of, someone had asked me if I'd ever run into any cryptids. I don't think so. I've heard the damn fox scare the hell out of me. Sounded like I was feeding, I was throwing hot dogs to raccoons in the woods. Don't ask. I don't know. And the freaking things sound like devils.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I knew what it was, but even knowing what it was still like, what created this thing?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was terrifying. So yeah.
Them bobcats and fishers, when you're out, I hunt, but when you're out at like 5 a.m, pitch black, and you hear those kind of things, you're like, I'd rather be in bed.
Oh yeah, my husband woke me up last year, and he's like shaking me. He's like, "There's something making noise outside." I was like, "It's either a fisher or a fox. Go back to bed." He goes, "No, you got to hear." And I'm like, "It's a fisher or a fox. Go back to bed." And then he's like, "No, you really have to hear it." So I like stood by the window, and of course it takes like 10 minutes, and then you hear. I was like, "It's a fox and a fisher. Go to bed." Like, one of those. I think it was probably a Fisher now that I think about it, but the barking of the fox is freaking out as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, my little girl wants a fox, and I'm like, I am not putting up with that noise all the time.
I almost bought a Finnick fox, obviously when I was single. But I read that, and now I've seen people have them for pets where they're loyal, so I missed out. But it said if you ever open a door, they'll bolt and they'll never come back. And I was like, I don't want to spend $1,000 on this thing and it never comes back. But I saw the other day where the little thing was in the window, all excited to see its owner. And I was like, screw you, Google, because I could have had a Finnick fox. So missed my chance. My husband would never let me get one of those. So.
'Tis better to ask for forgiveness than to beg for permission.
Yeah, I learned that from my mom, from all the crap she would buy. But yeah, that's how we got all our pets with my dad. Here you go.
See?
Yeah, absolutely.
It works.
These are our demons. I was trying to think of a unique way to show who was possessed and who wasn't. So we went with the cool little aura thing going on, which is nice. To remember to put it in though is a pain in the ass. I'm like, oh, I gotta go back and put that in. But yeah.
I was gonna say, how do you mark that? I usually use bright red in the text description.
Yeah.
Just so I know which has to be different. Yeah. But how do you mark
it? Fernando, aura. Black aura. And he's like, all right. And we still forget it. And then I'm like, oh, go back and do it. And then we have the shadow that leaves. Because I didn't want to copy the exact thing from Supernatural where it leaves the cloud, the dust or whatever. Someone asked me the other day what's the major difference about our world compared to Supernatural world. I would say our angels don't possess humans. I never like that. It always bugged me. I understand it's a huge plot with their thing, and that's fine. I mean, I did not sit right with me. Plus I liked seeing the wings and stuff. So we went with that. Also, I will tell you, as I always say, I never know why things are the way they are. I just write them and hopefully it works out later. If you noticed in Redemption, Kemiel does not have wings. And I never thought why he didn't. I just knew he didn't have wings. You find out why in issue 2.
Okay.
And but it was so funny because I was writing, I was like, oh, that's why there's no wings. Because I just never had wings. And I was like, Remnal has wings and he's not even a full angel anymore. So, but yeah, you find out. It's not pretty.
Nice.
Anyway.
All right. Well, we're just about at that time. Unfortunately. No, I'm the same. It could be all day, but I know we're busy. Again, I like this cover. I'll be honest. This will be the one we get.
That's what Lori got. She got that one.
Did she?
Yeah. If you get a digital, you get all 3 anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah, she is. I did see she's in there. But yeah, I'm glad to see that it's going well. I'm glad to see that you're kicking all the buttocks of bringing so many out at once.
I'm actually glad that a few people. I think I sold like 10 journals so far, which is really nice.
Yeah,
because that's a good interactive.
It's always good to have those extras.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't know what you're talking about. I refuse to stare at my Kickstarter for the first 30 minutes because it takes so long for people to read through it. So I can't and not see it move, and all of a sudden, so
that is a good point.
That's why I don't launch live anymore. Lori used to get upset because he was such a good launcher, and I was like, I can't do it because for the first 30 minutes, there's nothing. I'm like, these people have to read through it. I don't blame them, obviously. But it gives me an attack every time. So now I launch. I try not to look for 30 minutes, and then I was like, oh look, I got stuff. So anyway, for anyone that wants to find me, just search Worthy Chaos. I googled it the other day, and everything pops up. So Worthy Chaos. It's eventually going to be Worthy Chaos Cryptids and Comics. Is going to be probably a more known phrase. But yeah, so we're doing all sorts of stuff, and like I said, you don't have to read Redemption to read it. In fact, it's good either way. I do have a lot of catch-up tiers on it, which I was happy to see people bought. You could buy the hardcovers or the singles, and the ending is quite the ending of book 2 is quite intense. I know if people refuse to read it until 13 comes out, which is wise. I already had a few people tell me that they needed therapy, but 13 is going to come out in a month and 7 days, so good to go. But no.
And I've always told everyone, you are someone who delivers reliably, quickly. It's a guarantee that it's coming.
Oh yeah, to let everyone know, the first 100 people that did not buy medals get ordered after. We have 100 issues of the covers, the regular covers, and they get shipped out right away with all the merch. The only somewhat delay, and we pay extra to have it done in a week, is the medals. They will get done only because they're so expensive, especially the glow in the dark, man. I didn't even want to sell them because to put them out there and have one person buy it and then I'm out, $300 or whatever. It's not good. So you'll get yours within, as soon as the payment goes through on the 7-day mark, because I got screwed once already. So it's 7-day. I used to ship them out within 24 hours. Now it's 7 days, but I pack them up during those 7 days. I ship them out usually on the 7th or 8th day, and you'll have them in like 5 days. So you usually will get them within 2 weeks. If you ordered any kind of medals, you'll probably get them within 4 weeks. You're good to go. So yeah, you are getting there's 2 things you don't have to worry about. One, getting your merch, getting your story, and the story will continue. And in fact, it's written in my will that he has to use my life insurance to finish it. So either way, we'll have it done. So
I would say it sounds like you have at least 4 years worth of stories going.
I have written the 16 novels finished, but we're still writing. So there's approximately 125 issues, I think. And if you do 80 a year, and we're still writing, so if you do 80 a year, how many years is that? A few.
Oh my Lord. Let's find that out. 125 divided by 8. That's 15 years, 15 and a half years worth of.
And that's if we stopped writing, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So you'll
be busy for a bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a house at the end of this, but if like I said, I always tell everyone, if I'm here someday, my husband wants to build an extension on the back just for me, so the background might change. But if I look like I'm in a library, I'll be lost my house. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully not.
But it'll be the best form.
Right? It'll be the best library.
Or better, I was gonna say, your library will just be all your books behind. That's the best kind.
Yeah. My husband's like, we're gonna build an extension in the back. You can have all your stuff in there. Go downstairs, everything's storage there. I was like, you now have to build this because now I want this, and it's tax deductible. Yeah. So
exactly.
Awesome.
The best part.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
I keep looking at your Monday show, and I keep wanting to come on Mondays.
Good.
In fact, I switched I do Big Sexy Outdoors Monday night. I host that, the outdoor show, but we switched it to every other week. So I have a week free now in each one, so I might be able to actually come on for once.
Yeah, this Monday is at 7, just so anyone knows. It's at 7 because I'm going to be on Sarah White's show at 8 o'clock, but usually on Mondays at 8. So, and you can just show up, you don't really have to. I don't book people. Just show up and be like, I want to come on. You're good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Thank you.
So I guess that's, again, I hate letting you go only because I had fun talking, but I guess we got to get out. So
yeah.
All right, we'll catch them.
Is it snowing by you? It's snowing outside.
It did, and it's going to be doing again. I can't wait. I love snow.
It's straight till Saturday, and I am in Tennessee. They do not know what a plow looks like, so I'm not going anywhere.
No.
All right. It's my
husband's birthday. You can redo Christmas.
Yeah, my tree's still up. I don't have to redo anything. I gotta take that down. Oh, all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you in a little while.
Bye.